This crowd is storming Nakhil's office to get a chance to book a villa in their new community, but most of them will leave with nothing. Emaar, Damak, Shoba, Nakhil and Ellington made more than $65 billion in sales in 2024, but getting their best units is almost impossible for regular buyers. What most people don't know is that there are 5 proven methods to achieve VIP status with top Dubai developers and gain access to unique properties, discounts and many other benefits. Let's start with the first one. It's so simple, but many investors still completely miss it. Let me explain how the new property sales process really works. I'll do it with a glass and peanut M&Ms. And it's not just regular glass. It's a new, highly demanded project on Dubai Islands. And these M&Ms are buyers. So some of them learn about the project before others and put down money first. Then the developer starts spreading the information about the upcoming launch, and more people express their interest. Then there is a big public launch. Developer and sales agencies start running ads. And only after that, a big official sales day comes. The reason why those guys storming the Nakhil's office got no good units was that they were too late. But if you came before everyone else, before the developer made a huge performance on the local stadium, before the brochure was published, and even before the prices had become known, you secured your spot. Getting in early gets you a better attitude from the developer because you proved your trust with money before everyone else. And it also wins you time to negotiate the things you want to negotiate. Still, some clients refuse to use this method even after we explain them all the benefits, because number one, they're afraid that if they don't like the unit and request the money back, they won't get it for a month or two. Number two, they have discomfort driven by uncertainty because not much information is available. My take is that both are irrational fears. Freezing your money for 2 months is a necessary step. That's the price you have to pay to drastically increase your chances of getting an awesome unit. And successful real estate investors in Dubai are okay with this kind of uncertainty. Think about it. You normally make a decision when you know the developer, the area, the precise plot location, general information about the project, and approximate prices. It's a 95% of what you need to make a great investment. AI-generated pictures and descriptions full of buzzwords shouldn't affect your choice. If you want information about the best properties in Dubai without buzzwords, get our Insider Report. It contains 10 best areas, 10 best developers, and 20 best projects to invest in Dubai real estate right now. There are no fluffy descriptions there, but I can promise that you'll get the most important facts supported by data that really matter for investment. Also, for those who are serious about running numbers before committing to the purchase, I'm sharing our internal tool. It's called ROI Forecaster. And what it does exactly is run the numbers for you. You can get ROI, cash-on-cash returns, NPV, IRR, and other financial metrics for any property. You can get it all for free if you click the link below or scan the QR code. We're sharing both of these tools with investors and brokers, so feel free to use them and let us know what you think. If you're serious about becoming a VIP with Dubai developers, let me tell you about the next method. It can improve your position significantly, even if you weren't that early. Let's say the refundable amount required to express interest in a $1 million apartment is $25,000 US. The boldest move you can make is to pay the full sum in cash right away. But even putting down $200,000 will make a huge difference. And it's exactly how much you'd need to pay as a down payment in a few weeks if you buy the apartment. Even if the developer representative says that you don't have to, and it brings you no benefit, you should still do it. See, at some point, you'll want to negotiate something. And whatever it is, you'll have more power because the sales manager doesn't want to refund the big amount they've already received, because this particular sales rep will have to explain to their manager or sales director why they couldn't close the deal after you prepaid such a substantial amount. And nobody in this pyramid wants to get a harsh feedback that they can't sell. Also, let's say you come too late and all the good units are taken, you should still put down a bigger amount, because there will be cancelled units. Other buyers, for whatever reason, might decide not to proceed with the purchase. It doesn't mean that there is something wrong with the property. Usually it's about someone's financial situation. So at that moment, the cancelled unit is offered to other buyers. And guess who gets priority? Those who showed the money, of course. And there is also one more group that developers treat as VIP customers. Those they consider loyal. Serial investors who repeatedly buy from a particular developer get special treatment. It may seem like you need a lot of time to reach that status, but there is a way to get there much earlier. We consistently do it with different clients, and it works every time. For example, one of our clients wanted to invest $1 million US. He had a strong view that this should be 3 or 4 studios in different locations across Dubai. We shared this plan with one of the developers during the negotiations, and they made an offer. Their sales rep said, "Look, we have a building in Business Bay, also one in Arjan, and one in Al Jadaf. Why don't you buy all 3 or 4 apartments from us in different projects in exchange for a discount?" In this case, the developer treated it as a serial investment. But if you want to go further and get the best units in the buildings, the best financial terms, and even customizations that others have zero chance to get, then the next method is for you. It's buying in bulk. A bulk deal means that instead of buying a single unit, you acquire at least 5. The absolute minimum you need is $1 million US, but it varies a lot depending on the developer. And if you want to invest in a big government-backed developer like Emaar, $5 million US is probably the lower end. Bulk buyers are the absolute priority. They go first and, of course, choose the best available units. So the staircase to becoming the king of bulk VIPs through bulk deals is as follows. If you have around $1 million US, you can get 5 studios. Mid-sized and small developers might consider that enough to treat you almost like a bulk investor. The discount isn't huge in this case, maybe up to 5%. Then you can buy a full floor or even multiple floors. At a minimum, that will require around $3 million US, assuming it's an affordable project. The discount varies a lot, depending on the developer, the project, and the purchase volume. The lower end is 2–3%, and the highest we've seen in a decent developer was around 30%. Another option is buying a package of units. Some developers even offer preset packages. For example, you might spend $7 million US and get 6 units. 1 studio, 2 1-bed apartments, 3 2-bed apartments, and 1 3-bed apartment. And the top level of bulk deals is the buyer who acquires the entire building. Not every project can be sold to a single buyer, and of course, developer will run their own due diligence. But besides the benefits coming directly from the developer, buying in such a large volume gives you additional advantages. First, because you buy with better financial terms, you can sell part of the units at handover with a higher premium than everyone else. Second, by owning a substantial part of the building, you become a market maker. The price you set, whether for rent or sale, becomes the market price. If done smartly, by releasing apartments one after another, you can significantly increase your earnings. Third, if you own a whole building and rent it out short-term, you've basically created a hotel business. But residential properties, unlike hotels, don't require you to pay corporate income tax or VAT. However, making a bulk purchase is an option only for a small percentage of investors. But there is something literally anyone can do. Hire a top team. Strong brokers, agents, or advisors, of course, help you selecting the right property. But their work shouldn't stop after that, because securing the unit can be the real challenge. A real case from December 2024. A super high-demanded project was launching. The number of people who expressed their interest far exceeded supply, and the developer decided to apply a new allocation process. And they didn't tell anyone in advance. Thousands of real estate agents learned that at the last moment. The process was the following. Each sales team at the developer is assigned a unit. The team's manager gives that unit to one of the 5 team members. Then, the sales rep who got the unit offers it to agents and their clients in the order they decide themselves. You can imagine how important it is in situations like this to have someone with strong relationships, who's on the ground, fighting for you, and acting in your best interest. And that's exactly how in that project in December, and in many projects after that, all of our clients got amazing units. In some cases, it seemed to be too late, and then clients like Mark say we got them a unit that wasn't even publicly available. Actually, we got this one at 2 AM at New Year's night. So, if you're looking to invest in Dubai properties and need someone who'll have your back, reach out to my team. You can call us, WhatsApp us, or click the link in the description. We're available 7 days a week. Now that we've discussed the methods to getting the VIP status, the big question remains: what can it get you, besides priority? Before we dive into specific parameters you can negotiate, I want to warn you, with some developers, you can't negotiate much, or at all, and if the unit or place in the queue isn't secured, you'll just waste your time trying to get better conditions. That said, the first parameter is price, of course. Let me quickly give you some examples to illustrate what you can achieve in different scenarios. Small boutique developer, 1 unit, 2% discount just for asking. Medium-sized reputable developer, 1 unit, 2% discount for paying 10% of the property value before the official launch. One of the most demanded developers in Dubai, 2 units, 4% discount for buying 2 large apartments. Big international developer, 1 unit, 12% discount for paying the full amount in cash. One of the biggest developers in Dubai, 12 townhouses, 5% discount for bulk buying. Big private developer, 2 floors, 30% discount for bulk purchasing. But while everyone focuses on price, there are other significant aspects you can negotiate, like the DLD fee, which can substantially reduce your overall investment cost. This is 4% of the property value paid to the Dubai Land Department shortly after the sales and purchase agreement is signed. Not paying it is not the same as getting a 4% discount. Let me explain. Let's say you're acquiring a $1 million property. In the first case, you get a 4% discount. The cost of property acquisition, excluding admin fees, is $998,000. This breaks down into $960,000 as the discounted price and $38,000 as DLD fee. So to purchase the property, you need to pay $192,000 for 20% down payment and $38,000 for DLD fee. In total, $230,000 upfront. In the second case, you get a DLD waiver. The total private acquisition cost is $1 million, just $2,000 more than in the first case. However, your upfront payment is only $200,000 for the 20% down payment, because you don't pay the DLD fee. This means your initial financial burden is $30,000 lower. Next, let's talk about a payment plan. Even if the developer doesn't want to change the price, you can still negotiate an improved payment plan. This can include not only changing the structure, like 50-50 instead of 60-40, but also changing the payment dates. Let me show you 2 real payment plans a client of ours secured during the pre-sale stage of the super hyped waterfront project. The property is a $2 million apartment. The first plan is the standard one, 70-30. This means 70% of the price and the DLD fee are paid during construction, which is $1,480,000, and the remaining 30% or $600,000 is paid on handover. The structure involves payments at 4 points after the reservation date. They are tied to different phases of construction. First payment in 60 days, $200,000. Second payment in 120 days, $200,000. Remaining payments, $100,000 each. Now, here's what the client secured after some negotiation. The plan was changed from 70-30 to 60-40. This reduced the amount paid during construction to $1,280,000, including the DLD fee. The amount on handover was increased to $800,000. Additionally, the first 2 payments were reduced from $200,000 to $100,000 each, and the payment dates were pushed back. The first payment in 90 days instead of 60. The second payment in 150 days instead of 120, and later payments were adjusted similarly. And finally, let's move on to service charges. Despite the fact that their size is usually not really established that early, you can still get a waiver, meaning you won't pay service charges for some time, like a year or 2, and that can be substantial. Let me give you an example. Let's say you bought an 800 square feet apartment in GVC for $250,000, and you rent it out for $18,500. So your cash-on-cash return, if you don't pay service charges, is 7.4%, but the service charges in such properties are around $4 per square foot, which is $3,200 for this apartment. This reduces your take-home profit to $15,300, which is just 6.1% yield. But even if you are a VIP, developers will not just give away all these incentives. So here are some small negotiation tips that might help. First, show that you're serious. If you're asking for benefits, but won't even share your ID when the developer representative asks, everyone feels you're just window shopping. The same applies to putting down an expression of interest. If you don't pay a few percent fully refundable payment, people on the other side might doubt you have the money to pay for the apartment. Another thing you could do is write down the check, but not hand it over. Like if you want to get a property for $5 million instead of 5.3, show the $5 million check to the developer sales rep. That shows you mean what you're saying, not just talking. Of course, for this, you or your trusted agent should come in person. That's the next tip. Meet in person. Zoom is better than chatting on WhatsApp, and showing up in person is better than Zoom. We've seen many cases where the difference between a hard no And a yes to getting a discount was just making an in-person meeting between the client and the developer sales director. Third, don't limit negotiation to just one condition. If nothing can be done with the price, try to get a better payment plan structure. If it's 60/40 and you can't change that, then push payments to the later stages of the development. By getting VIP status in just any developer won't help you make a great investment. To help you choose the ones that are worth it, we made a video on the best to buy developers. Check it out.